These two apples in this picture look pretty similar, right? They're both red, juicy, and they probably taste just like apples. But there's a huge difference between these two apples that change the lives of hardworking Americans, and that is buying locally grown fruits and vegetables instead of buying at a big box store. Before I begin this, I want to ask you a question. How important is family to you? Is family important to you? Is it important to provide for your future children or your parents when they become sick or when they become old? Providing for your family is one of the most important things one can do in their life. But with the rise of big box stores, farmers are losing their jobs, and that means their families aren't thriving as much. So because of this, you should choose to shop at a produce stand or a farmer's market instead of a big box store because it supports local family farms. So I know you're wondering, that sounds great, Sarah, but how does this affect me? Well, it actually affects you a lot because it affects valuable capital in your community. According to the Huffington Post, purchasing fruits and vegetables from farmers markets, however, support local family farms, giving them valuable capital they need to keep operating and providing consumers an alternative to mass-produced fruits and vegetables. It also affects the local job market in your community. Again, according to the Huffington Post, most farmers markets their fruit and vegetables are grown within 100 miles of the market, which means that that farm is a source of local jobs and likely to spend money in that local community, which helps the capital in your community as well. It also affects the social well-being in your community. By buying locally grown fruits and vegetables, it allows for more social interaction between people and people that might never talk to one another. I know I love going to my local farmer's market back home because there's so many people I see that I probably would never interact with before. So many families, so many different diversities, so many different people that I get to be with and be in the same area with that I might not ever be with in my entire life. According to an organization called Food Within Reach, because food is a universal need, it can serve as something which brings people together. The atmosphere of farmers markets, outdoors, and the center in the community brings that community within the people. I want to tell you about an organization called Farm Aid. Farm Aid is an organization came up with by Willie Nelson, Neil Young, and John Mellencamp, who organized a concert in 1985 to raise awareness about the loss of family farms and to raise funds to keep family farms on their own land. In 2001, Dave Matthews, another musician, joined the Farm Aid Board of Directors in 2001. According to Farm Aid, they have now raised over $50 million to promote family farm system agriculture. Farm Aid is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to keep family farmers on their own land. Also, according to Farm Aid, the founder Willie Nelson has a quote that says this: "American family farms are the backbone of the nation, the first rung on the economic ladder. So when farms thrive, Main Street businesses and local communities thrive as well." Lastly, this affects your tax-paying dollars. According to Resilience magazine, impoverished families can actually use food stamps at the market, meaning that $18.8 million of SNAP cash from 2014 went right back into the local taxpayer's pocket. So what would this look like if this were to happen? What type of utopia would be created? Well, I want to tell you about how farmers are natural stewards of the land. They're natural stewards of the land that they serve, that they spend time with. According to American Farm Bureau Foundation for Agriculture, no one is closer to the earth than farmers, and it is important to them to care for the land, water, and natural resources. According to a Cornell University Small Farms program, there are 3 elements to this. You must be able to maintain social harmony within the people in your family, operation, and community, to sell what you grow at a profit, and to maintain or enhance the resources that your operation relies on. And I love that these three elements that Cornell speaks about. It talks about caring for the social people and the socialness of your family. It talks about you have to make sure you sell what you're producing and to maintain and enhance the resources that you're using as well. So what would happen if we did this? Well, we would create a beautiful utopia. But on the other hand, what would happen if we didn't have family farmers? Well, according to the National Review, farmers are motivated to get big or get out, as President Nixon's Secretary of Agriculture, Earl Burt, said in 1973, urging farmers to buy up their neighbors' land and replace laborers with tractors. Without the traditional cycles of employment and production that small farms fostered, rural communities are falling apart. Lastly, I want to show you a video to show you what life of a family looks like on the farm. This video will show you more than I could ever explain, because this video shows the true heart and grit of family, resilience, and community. Thank you.
Faith, family, farming. That's the Westerfeld family. 3 brothers, 20 kids, a legacy 4 generations in the making.
Well, I'm 52, so I told somebody the other day I farmed 50 years. The place where I live and my one brother lives, it was bought in about 1900 by my grandfather, and he started farming it, and my dad farmed it, and we farm it, and our kids are farming it.
David and his family live near Crawford. They farm in both Coryell and McLennan counties, growing mainly corn, but also wheat and a little milo. When harvest time comes, it's a family affair. Everyone pitches in, from cutting the corn to driving the grain buggies to filling the grain bins, all working together. When evening comes, they gather around the table, wherever they are, fathers, sons, daughters, and cousins, sharing a meal and enjoying each other.
25, 30 years ago, my mother started bringing out food, and then my wife started, and his other brothers got married. They started helping. Now we have daughter-in-laws helping, and we just kind of make it a family affair, come out and sit down in the evening and eat. Sometimes we try to keep a combine or 2 going, sometimes we just stop and eat.